giving birth in Bosnia Herzegovina. Hello, be welcome. This is a video that I decided to make because I did it in Spanish and that video had subtitles and I've been asked to do it in English, and this is one of the main topics and questions we get at Balkatinos, so here it is. Firstly, foremost, this is my experience and I'm going to share it if it helps you. I'm going to share this story from, I don't want to say a place of privilege because I don't think I'm privileged. I will tell you why. But it may be different from what you hear. Let's see. It's just my story and I hope it helps. I will mainly share information and kind of try to leave that sentimental, psychological part if possible, because I'm talking about bringing my daughter into this world. But if that's a video that you also want me to make, and I think it's a pretty interesting topic to discuss, to give birth in Bosnia as an expat, as a foreigner in this colorful country, we can also talk about it. Hello, I'm Denise. I'm from Argentina. I've been living here in Banja Luka for 4.5 years, more or less. And 2 years ago, my beautiful daughter Vera was born here in Banja Luka. This is one of the topics I've researched constantly prior to moving here, and perhaps as you, I didn't find information, especially coming from a foreigner. The one thing that did reach me were the terrible stories of birth experiences, not only here but in the Balkans in general, and unfortunately that is extremely sad and perhaps a reality that's still happening. However, the more I start to communicate with local women, it seems that the fight is going stronger and stronger and things are changing. And I must be honest, lately, from the great news of babies coming into our lives here in Banja Luka, at least the stories have been very positive, so that is something good. So when my husband and I decided to move here, I started to research a lot of things that I'm sharing now, because I wanted to know what life would be like here. And although having a baby was not in our plans at the beginning, it would be something that we would want in the near future. So learning about the different options for my pregnancy checkups as well as the delivery was something that I wanted to know about. And there were not a lot of options, to be honest. Here in Banja Luka, we have the public hospital where you can deliver, and the private option, which is a clinic called Jelena Clinic. And because at the time when I moved here, I was very afraid of ever even attending the hospital. This is back in 2020. I decided that I would want to, if ever and whenever, get pregnant and deliver, I would want to do it at this private clinic. The downside, if you would call it, or it's that it's extremely expensive. You would either have to pay it out of your own pocket or through insurance, which covers it. So in my case, when we started to look for a baby, it was around the time when I had to renew my residence visa. So we decided to get that private insurance with a company called Uniqua. I believe this is in Serbia as well. I'm going to leave all this information that perhaps I forgot to share on the video. I will leave everything in the description, links and so on. I decided to get Uniqua, which at the time was about 800 marks, 400 euros for the whole year. Got the package that would include checkups, pregnancy checkups, and the delivery itself at this private clinic, Jelena. The one condition, or one of the clauses that the contract has, is that you cannot fall pregnant immediately after signing this contract or this new insurance. you would have to wait 3 months. And it's not like we planned it, or did we? But that happened, and when we got pregnant, everything fell under that insurance. With this clinic, I would have to book things in advance because they are pretty demanded. They're very popular. They also have patients that are not from Banja Luka. They come from outside of Banja Luka. So we kind of got into this rhythm of planning in advance or appointments and so on. My doctor understood me 100%, but she was not able to completely speak English. I was very fortunate for my husband to be there with me in every appointment and taking me to do my blood test, my glucose test, and everything. So yes, that really helped. But this is on the side, and the reason why I completely emphasize to learn the language as much as possible, because even though our husbands maybe have the best of wills, even in their own language, they don't know how to speak about a woman's body or what the doctor may be making reference to. So it's just another reason why I think learning the local language is so important. So I had a really nice pregnancy. Luckily, we actually traveled to Argentina for a month or 2 months. I spent some of my pregnancy there, and I had kind of planned for my parents to be here for my delivery date a month before and a month after the delivery date. So that really helped me to know that my parents would be here. And when the date came, actually on the due date, which is I guess what we all care about right now, just tell us how it happened. It was summer, and that past week or 2 weeks I had been going constantly for checkups because I was getting really tiny contractions. It was a Friday, and I had gone that morning to do one of these scans because of the small contractions, but nothing, no dilation or anything. And then I went for a nap, and at about 7:30 or 8 p.m. No, let's say 7:30. I woke up from the nap, and as I got up and got vertical, I broke my water, and we called the clinic. And they said, just, if you don't have any contractions, just take a shower, get ready, and come, like, whenever you're ready, just come. So we went after about an hour. Before I continue telling you the story, I want to share that every time I've gone for checkups, I was very happy with everything. Perhaps I was waiting longer than what my appointment was meant to be, maybe like, 10-15 minutes, but everything was always, I don't have anything negative or constructive to say about the clinic. Maybe that it would be nice to have some English communication, but I am in a foreign country, so what to expect. I wish I had, and if you want me to find someone to share their birth experience in the public hospital, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to get one of my friends to do it. Also, another thing I wanted to share is that I also had a gynecologist, an OB from Argentina. Everything I was getting done here, I was sending it to my doctor in Argentina. And he did once told me there is a glucose test that they didn't do for this amount of time for this. He said it was just more like his preference to do a glucose test at around that time. I don't know, more than 30 weeks or something. So I took his suggestion and I did it. But other than that, all the checkups, it was okay. When we arrived there, after an hour, we called them, went for a checkup with the doctor. Not my doctor, but the other kind of head doctor that was on duty. My daughter was in position, but I was not dilated, so we could easily be there for like 2 hours or 24 hours until I dilate, or we could go ahead and go for C-section, because maybe in the end if I do 24 hours of labor, we might also go into C-section. I personally was not a fan of even thinking about natural birth. Whatever your opinions may be, that's my preference and my experience. So I said, yes, please, let's go for C-section. This brings me something to mind, is that I would think women, or in general, okay, everyone lives their pregnancy differently. I did it in a way that I was not trying to overwhelm myself, and I know a lot of women have their birth plan, and it's something that I discussed with my doctor, but I was not like obsessed with it or really obsessed with the fact that they follow it and so on. I was very well informed about how a respectful birth should be and my rights and all of that, but it's not like I was obsessed with how I would like things to go and so on. So whenever he suggested C-section, I was like, yes, please, because I'm terrified of even thinking about it. So yeah, I broke my water around 7:30 and it was like 9 p.m. and I was already in the delivery room. So because it was Friday and it was almost the weekend, there were probably like 2 mothers with their babies at the clinic, and the whole staff was there for us. The lady who does the anesthesia, she was lovely. Actually, we had an appointment with her a couple of weeks before the delivery date, and she speaks very good English, and she made me really feel at peace. Then the pediatrician as well, I met her before the delivery, speaking English as well. So that was really reassuring. And as soon as, you know, they said, or we decided to have a C-section, they called all the staff. The anesthesiologist, she was there, so that was really something that calmed me down. We didn't really have a lot of time to get nervous or think about anything, because from the moment we decided, 30 minutes later, I was already ready in the delivery room. Everyone was very nice, very, again, reassuring. I have a few tattoos, so we were talking about my tattoos. I have a tattoo in Serbian, so that was like funny to see. Of course, I think they were just like trying to distract me of what was about to happen. And something that was very clear and decided was that Jovan was supposed to be in the delivery room. So once I got my epidural, which I did not feel because this woman has magic hands, and then everything got just so fast. And once I was ready on the bed and, you know, ready to get started, they told Jovan to come, and he was with me the whole time, which that is something that I'm not sure. I've heard that it can be done at the public hospital, but I think you're supposed to file a request prior to the date, and I don't know if there's so much of a freedom to choose. So that is a blessing for me, and something that I'm glad that we got to experience, to welcome Vera together. Everything happened so fast. It's a bit blurry. The whole experience in the delivery room was great. Just like a few seconds before Jovan entered, I realized I was so scared. Like, I'm about to deliver in Bosnia with doctors that don't speak my language. Like, insane. Like, seconds away from my life changing and from becoming a mother. That's insane. 1 sec. So yeah, let's keep the logistics going and talk about sentimental stuff in another video. After that, I had also requested to be moved to like a little apartment that they have, because the clinic is it looks pretty residential. When you're here, you will see houses are huge because they have different floors. So the clinic is like a whole house, and at the very top there is a private apartment where you can decide if you want to stay. Also, I think because there's people from outside of Banja Luka who come, so they have a place to stay. This has an extra cost that was not covered by the insurance. We knew that in advance. I don't know, it was just something that I had been saving money to pay for, and something that we wanted just to be the first 2-3 days by ourselves with Vera. Otherwise, if everything was okay after C-section, we could have gone home the next day. But I really prefer to have that alone moment, just the three of us, and also for the recovery for the C-section, because it was so helpful to have all the nurses helping me. They helped me so much with breastfeeding, so much. I thank those women for allowing me, although it's something that it was also thanks to me and to Vera, but their patience and their love and kindness to help me breastfeed, priceless. I think that also helped the fact that I stayed a few days. That night, no one was in the room with me, so Jovan was able to sleep next to us. Well, no one slept that night. We were just fascinated. But yeah, we spent like 3 full days together. Next day, we were moved upstairs, and they were bringing Vera, or if I was asking them to take her so I could rest, they would take her, they would bring her when I would say. The apartment was fully equipped. I only had to bring my set of clothes to leave, but they had pajamas for me, pajamas for Vera, pajamas for Jovan. They had toiletries, they had everything for the baby, like clothes, diapers, formula, everything. There was even toothbrushes, all the necessities for me to change after the, taking care of the wound, everything. The clinic was not full, so I think we had full attention on us, which was something perfect for me. After 3 nights, we left the clinic. Probably went over it very fast, but I had a very positive experience, and after giving it some thought, I'm not sure if I would have such a good experience back home. I understand this also came with a price, and like I mentioned, I had been saving to be able to pay for the insurance, also for those extra days. Also, we were asked by the insurance to show that the doctor suggested a C-section, because that was extra money. Actually, we had all the papers and the suggestion from the doctor officially, so we got that money reimbursed. That's another detail. We pay for everything and later it's reimbursed to us. Again, I don't know if this is from a place of privilege because we're not rich. It's just something that I saved for because I wanted to have the best experience possible, taking into consideration what it means to move to a different country and to experience this life-changing moment like it is being pregnant and delivering and later upbringing a child in a foreign country. I think it also depends on what everyone considers important to them. And for me, saving money for this was but ako bokna, for the next baby, I'm interested, and also because I've been hearing really good things about delivery experiences at the hospital. It seems there's a lot of changes and improvements. I'm actually considering, God willing, for the second child to deliver in the hospital. Regarding motherhood and pregnancy and the whole thing, there were also things like buying things for the baby, the checklist, the where to buy what's here. And that is also something that I think could be very helpful because I shared it with a few friends and I realized, I wish I had this information when I was in the moment. Also, when it comes to doing papers, like how to get her ID and this kind of things. It was so crazy because the first day of life, the nurse came and she started to filling a form because they had to submit all the documents to get her birth certificate and just register her in the world. So that was very incredible. But then later Jovan had to go do some paperwork as well because we got help from the government when you deliver a baby, and then if you are not working you also get some money monthly. So maternity leave here, it's a year long. I think that's absolutely amazing. Knowing how little the world cares about mothers and maternity leave, something that I appreciate about living here. They cherish families and children and mothers, and I think that's amazing. Actually, I have a lot of things to say about this topic, but I have to go. So I hope this helps. If there's any questions, leave them here. If you had an experience in Bosnia or in the Balkans, please share them in the comments. Let's help each other. Let's put information out there because it's lacking, and I think we can all just, do our part and help each other as a community. I hope you guys are doing great. Any other topics you want me to talk about, leave them as well. If you like the video, it would be so helpful if you can subscribe it or share it to someone who needs to watch it. See you in Balkatinos. Ciao.